A man and his thoughts.
Much better thoughts now that you're here. What have we here?
This is for you.
For me?
Yes. This is Louie. He's one of my oldest and dearest friends. He has seen me through some very rough times. I thought he might cheer you up.
Well, Louie, this is definitely an honor.
There is one catch. I want him back, but not until he's worked his magic for you.
Don't worry, I'll take good care of him.
I think the idea is for him to take good care of you.
Thank you.
Well, actually, you're already looking pretty good. Clean shaven. I can see it's just a matter of time before you're making passes at all the nurses.
Nurses and former fiancés?
Which reminds me, my father sends his regards.
Right, I'll bet this just made his day.
Come on, Ridge. Can you give him credit for having a little compassion? How are you really feeling?
Not too badly. Except for the headaches.
I'll bet.
I guess I was lucky the bullet landed where it did. Another quarter of an inch, and somebody would have been giving me a eulogy by now.
Don't even say that.
I wonder who would have been doing it. You?
More likely, your friend Logan.
Ah, and she would have given me a hell of a one, wouldn't she?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, after all, you two aren't married, which would leave her penniless and homeless.
You women really do enjoy sticking it to one another, don't you?
No, that's not true. Some of us are the best of friends and confidants.
And Logan, of course, is an opportunist.
You said that. I didn't.
Louie, she's thinking more like my mother every day.
Thank you. There is one thing that your mother and I definitely do have in common. And that's how much we care about you.
I know that. That means a lot to me. More than you know.
Really?
Well, I said it. But then I was shot in the head.
That's not a very funny subject.
No, it's not something to joke about, is it? Especially when the guy who did it is still out there. Kind of makes you wonder what the police are doing, doesn't it?
I can't understand it, Lieutenant. This Forrester case is a bit out of the norm for you.
How's that?
Well, you usually manage to bring in a truckload of physical evidence. This time, all I've got is one little .32 caliber bullet to work with.
So that's what it was, a 32?
Yeah, I checked both the size and the weight.
Does it match anything in your case files?
I wish it did. As far as I know, the gun that fired this hasn't been used in any other unresolved shootings.
What more can you tell me about this bullet?
Well, I could be more sure if I could see the cartridge case. But right now, I'd say it was manufactured maybe 5, 6 years ago, somewhere in there.
That's a strange piece for a pro to be using, wouldn't you say?
Well, sometimes these guys will find a gun on the job, steal it, and then start carrying it themselves.
Yeah, a kid, or an amateur maybe, not a pro. If he's gonna carry anything, it's not gonna be a 32 with old cartridges.
Good point.
But I can't figure out who would want to break into the Forrester's place except for a pro.
Agreed. So where do you go from there?
If the guy was a professional, he was sloppy as hell. The place wasn't cased. He didn't even know about the dogs. Most of the family was at home. The security system was untouched.
Maybe you've got an ambitious amateur.
No, that doesn't fit. It's too much for a kid. Too big, too much security.
Careful. You're going to talk yourself right out of an investigation, Lieutenant. You eliminate the pros and the amateurs, and what do you have left?
That's exactly my point, Tom. If I eliminate the prowler, who do I have?
Oh, Thorne. Do you know where your father is? Thorne?
Oh, Mother, I'm sorry. What did you say?
Where were you? What were you thinking?
What else? I was thinking about my brother.
The Bold and the Beautiful. This portion sponsored by Lemon Fresh Dash. Dash out odors. Dash in freshness.
You were thinking about Ridge. How do you mean that?
With everything that's happened, it's pretty hard to get him off your mind.
That's what you were thinking?
I don't understand your question, Mother.
No, I'm sure not.
Hey, look. I know you've been really stressed about everything that's happened with Ridge. But he's gonna be all right now. We know that. You gotta ease off. You're gonna give yourself a breakdown.
Yes, you're right. You gonna wait for your dad?
No, you can get into this with him later.
Do you know where he is?
I'm not sure. But he was in here with Lieutenant Burke a little while ago.
Oh, the lieutenant was here.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No, I was wondering that too. Look, I've got a meeting in my office. I've really got to go. I meant what I said. You take care of yourself.
Look, I understand all that, and I agree, but I can't do it until I find these other sketches, all right? Stephanie, what are you doing here?
I came to pick you up. We're supposed to go to the hospital together.
Look, I'm sorry. What with everything that's been happening, we've gotten so far behind. I'm going to have to meet you there.
All right. The lieutenant came by to see you.
Yes, he did, earlier.
The fellow certainly gets around, doesn't he?
Well, I suppose we should be grateful. Hopefully it means that very soon he'll find out who did this to Ridge.
Yeah, it's just all the questions about the family. What did he ask you?
Yes. Lieutenant who? Well, what does he want with me? What do you mean he won't say? All right, never mind. Just send him in. Lieutenant Burke, I presume?
Mm-hmm.
My secretary didn't tell me what division you're assigned to.
Homicide and violent crimes, Mr. Spencer.
I assume that you want to talk to me about Ridge Forrester.
That's correct, sir.
Well, I seriously doubt if there's anything I can do to help you. I was in New York with my daughter the day of the shooting.
Yes, sir, I know that. Actually, the purpose of this visit is a bit more sensitive.
Well, I was never a Ridge Forrester fan, if that's what you're after.
So I've heard.
Not exactly a secret.
May I assume there's a connection between your animosity and the cancellation of your daughter's marriage to Ridge?
My feelings predate that event. I was never in favor of the marriage.
Would it be fair to say that you were responsible for your daughter calling the wedding off?
Well, I like to think that Caroline made that decision.
But she was aware that you didn't approve of Forrester.
Oh, yes, right from the beginning.
Had you known him long?
Long enough to form an opinion.
Weeks, months, years?
Weeks. That's all it took.
And what was it you didn't like about him?
You're asking for a very long list, Lieutenant. Look, let's just say it was a father's instinct. I was convinced that Ridge would bring nothing but grief to Caroline. And as it turned out, Oh, I was right.
Why was the lieutenant here to see you?
That's what I was wondering. I told him that, quite honestly, I didn't see how I could be of any help since I hadn't seen anything at all happen that night.
And did that satisfy him?
No. I told him I thought that you had given him a pretty clear picture of what happened. My feeling is that this lieutenant thinks there's a lot more to what happened that night than what has surfaced so far.
He said that?
Yes. Not in so many words, but yes.
Well, of course there's a lot more going on that has surfaced. I mean, not the least of which is who shot Ridge.
Stephanie, do you know more than you've told me?
Why would you ask me a question like that?
Because I get the distinct impression that that is what the lieutenant thinks.
What else did you tell him, Eric?
Well, he asked me if it was unusual for the dogs to be barking at that hour, and if I had heard them before Ridge went out there.
Anything else?
Oh, I told him that I was upstairs taking a shower, that I hadn't heard anything, and that you and I went straight up there after coming in from looking for Thorne.
Oh, you mentioned to him about Thorne not being there.
Yeah, he made quite a point of it.
You did?
He was very interested. What is it? You seem very tense.
I guess it's just starting to get to me, you know, questions.
Well, I can understand that. But with Burke conducting such a thorough investigation, aren't we assured that sooner or later we're going to find this person who did this to Ridge?
It's just all this digging into the family. I really think that the lieutenant's energies would probably be better served elsewhere.
Specifically the questions about Thorne?
Everything. I mean, yes. You know, I resent the feeling somehow that we're all suspects.
Well, I think you're overreacting.
I probably am.
If you don't mind, Mr. Spencer, I'd like to go back to your statement that Ridge brought nothing but grief to Caroline.
Are you aware that Caroline was raped last year?
Yes, but it was my understanding that it was Ridge's testimony that was the turning point in your daughter's case.
Oh, yes. I'll give the devil his due on that score.
Surely you don't hold Ridge responsible for the rape.
No. If he had not been involved with Caroline's life right from the beginning, she would never have gone through that horrendous experience. Oh, yes, he is the cause why she decided to move out and find a place of her own, and why she was so vulnerable to that scum that raped her.
You seem very bitter about that.
Oh, my daughter has gone through hell.
She seems to have made the adjustment well.
Thankfully. But one good thing came out of this whole experience. And I think Caroline is just beginning to realize that. That's her husband, Thorne.
Yes, I wanted to ask you how you felt about him.
As though he were my own son.
It's quite a contrast between brothers, wouldn't you say?
Thorne brings to Caroline everything that's good in life. I'm not talking about the material possessions.
And yet you say she's only just now beginning to realize that?
That may be just my perception.
Would you care to elaborate?
Well, in the beginning, I was concerned that Caroline couldn't see how wrong Ridge was for her. After they broke up, then I became very concerned that she didn't appreciate Thorne.
Are you saying that you had these concerns even after she and Thorne were married?
They all live in the same house, Lieutenant.
And Ridge continued to be a temptation?
Have you ever been on a diet and had somebody offer you your favorite ice cream?
Was Ridge doing any offering?
Well, I can't say that he was actively offering, no.
But
he was there. And he's there every single day. Thorne and Caroline don't have a life of their own.
And how does Thorne feel about that?
Thorne adores her. And he's very patient and understanding.
And your daughter has come to appreciate these qualities.
Not just the qualities, but the man. And Thorne knows it. I can honestly say that they're very happy now. But I certainly don't want to leave you with the impression that there's any discord between them.
No, you haven't. But you have left me with one other question.
And what is that?
This situation you've just described, how do you feel about that?
I'll tell you this, even though this may put me in a bad light. I'm not a violent man, Lieutenant. But for the last 18 months, I can honestly say that I myself could have been brought to violence where Ridge Forrester is concerned.
Goodbye, Trish.
Yes?
Hi, I was wondering. I'm Rocco Connor. I work here down in shipping.
Oh, yes, Rocco, yes.
Hi, I hate to bother you, but I'm really glad that I ran into you. I need your advice on something.
All right, what is it?
It's about someone who might have wanted to hurt Ridge.
Someone wanted to harm Ridge?
It's just it, I'm not sure. Sure acted like he did.
When was this?
It was the other night, a couple hours before Ridge was shot.
Well, why have you waited this long to say anything?
Mrs. Forrester, I don't think that your family is gonna like hearing about this.
Who is it?
Mr. Garrison, Christian's husband.
Clarke?
They had this big blowout the other night.
How do you know about this?
Because I was there. I mean, for most of it anyway. Ridge asked me to throw the guy out.
You mean they were arguing?
Yeah, you could call it that. Garrison was really upset.
What about?
I guess Ridge was changing his designs or something, and Garrison did not like it.
Did he threaten my son?
Oh, yeah. He said that he was going to get him for what he did. And I really believe that he meant it.
I see.
Mrs. Forrester, I'm sorry. I
No,
hate to be
you were
the one-
absolutely right to come to me.
I know it must be hard, you know, him being in the family and all.
No, Rocco. The most important thing always is the truth.
Yeah, I thought so too. Ridge means a lot to me.
Thank you. And I know my son would thank you. I'll take care of everything from here.
Okay. I really wanted to help.
I know. And you have. More than you could possibly know.
Okay, bye.
Ridge, there is something that I have to say.
Why so serious?
I just can't get this out of my mind ever since this happened to you. It's about your trip to New York, the one you canceled. It was because of me, wasn't it? I mean, that's why you didn't go. You were concerned about me.
I was concerned about a lot of things, particularly a buyer who came in unexpectedly.
Really?
Sure. I had to be there to shore the new line.
I don't buy that. I'm sorry. I think you were worried about what Thorne might think if you and I were both in New York at the same time, and I think that's why you canceled. You did it for me.
What are we leading to here?
Ridge, if you had gone on your trip as planned, you wouldn't be here right now. This would not have happened. I can't help but feel that it's my fault that you were home that night.
Now, hold on, Caroline.
Ridge, you would have been in New York.
None of this is your fault.
Oh, Ridge, when I thought that you might be dying.
Well, it takes more than a bullet to keep me down.
You are incorrigible. Ridge, what I'm really trying to say...
Excuse me, Mr. Forrester. Dr. Tucker will be in shortly.
I guess I better leave.
No, you were about to say something. What is it?
To be continued.
Lieutenant Burke here.
Hello, Lieutenant. This is Stephanie Forrester.
Hello, Mrs. Forrester.
Lieutenant, I'm calling you because, I heard about an argument that my son was involved in an hour or two before he was shot. Apparently it was a very bitter argument, and there were threats made against him. The young man that you should talk to works here at Forrester. His name is Rocco Carner.
Rocco Carner. Thank you very much, Mrs. Forrester. I will look into that.